going on, guys? Your boy Joey672 coming to you guys with the video right now. So I want to go over training camp today. I have a lot of news today. I thought it was a pretty balanced day on offense and defense today. But I want to go over some of the injuries, what's going on with some of these players that have been out, and just see what's going on with that. Lane Johnson is on his 5th day out of training camp for a lower body injury, but obviously they're not going to go train him hard. They're not going to go crazy. It's something very small. So really wouldn't worry about it too much. Jason Peters takes a maintenance day today. Don't want to go too hard on him. Joe Osman, defensive end, was out today. I don't know what the injury was. And defensive end, Jannard Avery, we had that little scare yesterday that thought it was going to be a torn ACL yesterday and holding his knee. All the coaches pretty much on the field with him. To find out, it's a lower body injury. It's going to be day-to-day for defensive end Jannard Avery. So very glad he's going to be coming back. Put him back in the lineup. I want to see more from him. So it's going to be a few days here and there and just see how he is. So I'm excited that he is back. So Carson Wentz goes in the 7-on-7 state, throws a touchdown, deep touchdown to DeSean Jackson with Darius Lee draping just a little bit behind him. So we all know this chemistry between DeSean and Carson Wentz has been good even last year. The two most explosive plays in the league, for at least the Eagles were those two plays in the first game against the Washington Redskins at the time. And, I want to see more of those plays. I know DeSean Jackson is eyeing the Hall of Fame and making sure that his future is going to be secure with this team in the Hall of Fame. And, one of the best, probably the best deep threat, in my opinion, in the whole NFL. Just because of what his age is and how much he could run and just what he could do right now. But you saw last year when DeSean came back, it just the chemistry in the offseason, we already knew that it was going to be special. And it only lasted 1.5 games pretty much. So what you have now is a very crowded wide receiver room with DeSean Jackson. And a lot is yet to come with Carson Wentz and that connection between all the receivers, not just DeSean Jackson. So John Hightower had another great day today. Another 20-yard touchdown to John Hightower from Nate Sudfeld. Always showing up the second day in a row where John Hightower is showing up. I know they say the second day in a row, but to be honest with you, John Hightower has had one of the best camps as a wide receiver for us this year. And I think, he's deserving of a roster spot. We all know that. Okay, I think he deserves it. I don't know what he's doing on special teams. I haven't seen much of him on special teams unless they're kind of secretly putting him in there, and they really haven't put the report out, even though it's not really important. But it'd be nice to know if he is playing special teams and being a wide receiver as well. So there was a trick play today that actually happened. They had Greg Ward throwing the ball to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside for a 20-yard gain today, which was pretty cool because Greg Ward plays for University of Houston. In college, he was a quarterback. So obviously we have another quarterback on this roster. God forbid something does happen. But it's nice to see that they're putting in some trick plays and using Greg Ward for that matter. Probably hasn't thrown a football in a while, but it's nice to see that Doug is being creative with this offense with Sangrello and the rest of these offensive assistants. I want to see what's up their sleeve by the start of the season to see how much different. Like 2017 was very different because there were plays that they did I wasn't even expecting. But Frank Reich was the OC and really was creative. I want to see what these guys are doing to help Doug with the play calling, using the strengths of these players, and putting players in good positions to win football games. So I don't know what's going on with this, but Andre Dillard hurt his hand today on one rep against Josh Sweat, and I don't know. It's not his hand now it's his bicep. They are trying to make sure that there's no tear. So Andre Dillard has a biceps injury. Okay, it's not good right now. So it just seems like he's been getting hurt like pretty much every day. He's been missing camp, getting hurt. When he comes in, he gets hurt. Missing camp, coming in, getting hurt. So he had that one rep against Josh Sweat. Jordan Mailata went to left tackle today. So I want Jordan Mailata to get as many reps as possible. If it's not one man to step in there, another is going to step in there and get their work done. And Jordan Mailata is another guy that has missed time with injury and is coming back. So there's a lot going on with the offensive line right now. A lot of moving pieces. What's going on? And just seeing what's going on. So I don't know what's happening. They don't know if there is a tear in his bicep. I really hope not. But we'll probably find out most likely tomorrow. So another wide receiver we've heard of very few times, but has had a very strong camp is Deontay Burnett with the sideline catch. Mossing Cravon LeBlanc, keeping his feet in bounds on the sideline, and doing a really good job. Deontay Burnett, I think, only caught like maybe 2 balls for us at the end of the year last year. That big gain against the Giants last year at the end of the year. I mean, Deontay Burnett is fast. The top of his route's not really that great. but I don't know if he's improved on that, how he looks out there. But Deontay Burnett, a lot of people say he deserves a spot on this roster. That's like on borderline. I think he's on the bubble definitely, because I just think there's too much way ahead of him right now. But Deontay Burnett has had a really strong camp. It's just nice to see another guy like Deontay Burnett. Every time he gets a rep in training camp, he does a really good job. And just, you know what I mean? Every given opportunity Deontay Burnett gets, he runs away with it. And that's really all that matters. So I'm pretty proud of that guy. As well as Jalen Reagor doing a good job on every route possible, lining up everywhere X, Y, and Z receiver spot. He's actually been doing a really good job blocking downfield. And that's what the coaches have noticed. He actually blocked Darius Lee perfectly downfield when they were throwing the ball in a little screenplay. And you know what? Jason Peters had some love for Jalen Reagor and said, good job. And, you know, that's really good because, you know what? You can have these superstar wide receivers on your team, but if they can't block, they're really no use for you at the end of the day, because if the play's not going their way, they got to know how to block. They need to know how they go upfield and block and put their hands on a guy and do a good job there. So I'm really glad that Jalen Reagor already kind of knows how to block very well, so I'm very happy about that. Zach Ertz kind of surprised everybody. Well, not really surprised, but went to the sideline. I think it was 7-on-7s, had a one-handed catch near the sideline, and everybody was kind of freaking out about that. We all know Zach Ertz could do the one-handed catches. We all know Zach Ertz is very athletic. Not the fastest guy in the world, but his route running is amazing. And just, you know, that's the top of his route is where he's, you know, since he doesn't have the speed, his route running is where he, you know, gets mismatches on some guys, because, you know, Zach Ertz is the safety blanket for Carson Wentz, but I don't think anymore. I think times are definitely changing in that department, because now you have a lot more guys to throw to. Not even just that, but Carson Wentz can extend plays on his feet as well. So, you know, the play is always going to be alive, and that's where the chemistry is going to start to build up with all these receivers plus these tight ends. There's going to be a mismatch every single game that we do have that we have to exploit. So very happy to see that. So I want to go over the defense right now. Now, Darius Lee was beaten by DeSean Jackson downfield for a touchdown, but another deep pass from Carson Wentz to DeSean Jackson. Darius Lee had it covered like crazy, knocked it down. So the competition is making both sides so much better. Like, Darius Lee is a top 5 corner in the league. DeSean Jackson is the best deep threat in the NFL right now, still at 33 years old. So you know what? The competition, not just for those two guys, but for the rest of the corners, for the rest of the receivers. Darius Lee is putting nice work on a lot of these guys, especially Nickell Roby-Coleman and a few other guys. So very happy about that. Nickell Roby-Coleman puts down another 2 passes today. Another guy, it's always productive every single day at camp, deflecting balls and just doing a good job jumping in front of receivers. That guy is definitely starting in the slot this year at the nickel spot, so better believe. So defensive end Casey Twohill gets 3 sacks today. Does a really good job. You know, Casey Twohill is a guy that we really don't know what he's going to bring to the table, because this guy was pretty much a plumber before he got to the NFL. Like, he was a part-time to full-time plumber, doing off work type of stuff. Normal job, just like us, and got into the NFL, and now is getting sacks on the training camp field right now. So I want to see what he brings to the table right now. Obviously, Joe Osman is out, so he probably got more reps today and did a pretty good job, but I would really like to find another defensive end, especially Jannard Avery and a few other guys. I want to see a few of these defensive ends, somebody step up. It's unfortunate we don't have preseason to see what they could do against another Jersey, but hopefully Doug makes the right moves to get one of these guys on this roster that's going to really do a good job this year. And on a good note, Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham had a couple sacks each today, just pummeling that offensive line and doing a good job there. So other than that, guys, I mean, the only problem I'm really having with this whole training camp right now is pretty much this offensive line. Okay, it's only training camp. Obviously, like, we can hype up any player on in training camp, but at the same time, we have had players that did a great job in training camp and haven't done anything during the season. Okay, and this offensive line is like, I'm starting to wonder like what they're going to do, because I don't want them to put somebody out there if they're not ready. And I don't want someone to get an injury because they're not ready. You understand? Like, before something bad happens when it shouldn't have happened, to be really smart and think with their head of what's going on. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We'll have another training camp video tomorrow. I'm not sure if the Eagles are off on Saturday like last week. Probably they will be. I'm not sure, but I'll find out, let you guys know. Leave you a post. Other than that, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, you guys haven't looked at any of the other training camp videos, in case you missed anything, please come back to this channel. Well, I have all the information for you. And I will see you guys later. Shake Squad up. Fly, fly.